Alrighty, we are back again for another shot at it. One of these times I'll get it right. Coach Dave here, Accordion Cool is the name of the show, and of course, as the name mentions, I have mentioned ad nauseum, this is where we strive mightily to make the accordion cool. No polkas, no stereotype accordion music, just great tunes from the 20th century, of which that first one is one of the greatest. Fly Me to the Moon, 1954. Now, if you are under the age of 60, you have never heard it played in the tempo, shall we say, that I just played it, but the song was originally written as a waltz. Yes. And it was called In Other Words. And some guy named, I can never think of this guy's name. Sinatra. He had a big hit on that song, but old Frankie's not going to play and sing any silly waltzes, so he put it into what we call 4/4 time, which is what I just played it in, and of course had the big hit on it. And of course, the great three-time world champion accordion player, Corey Pesatoro, who is using everything I taught him. When he was on the show, I remember, several years ago, we played that song, and I told the same story about it having been made as originally as a waltz. Of course, Corey, he's a young whippersnapper somewhere in his 30s, so he'd never heard it as a waltz, so he just messed around with it. He says, he says, that sounds strange. Well, before 1954, it didn't sound strange, because that's how they wrote it, but that's another story. All right, moving along to 1937 for this tune. This tune was written by the Gershwin brothers, George and Ira. I think George wrote the excuse me, the music, and Ira wrote the words and lyrics to these songs. And this is about, excuse me again, my goodness, about what happens, well, they called it fog, but I think it was smog in London town, so it's called a foggy day in London town. I think it was probably a smoggy day, but let's try it anyway. Foggy Day in London town. Well, our next song, I think, it's maybe one of my most favoritist, if that's the word, songs of all time. I think it's one of the prettiest songs ever written. It was written in 1953. I think it debuted in a show, but I don't think it was written for a perfect show. I think whoever wrote it decided, hey, guys, let's sit down today and write one of the prettiest songs ever written. So they said, okay, let's do it. And they did it. And this is what it's going to sound like. Frank Sinatra, Joe, he's all over the place here today. Well, he had a big hit on this song. And also, I believe it was the name of the album that this song was the title song of the album, which was the title of the album from the title song, which is this song that, anyway, is called Here's. Not around here, though. Here's That Rainy Day. Oh, yeah, here's that rainy day. No rainy days around here now. We get great spring weather. But anyway, well, this next tune, also one of my favorites, going back to 1939. I guess this came from a musical, but not a very well-known musical, because I never heard of it. Not that I'm an expert on musicals, but anyway, it's a tune called All the Things You Are. I just take a pick, you know. Here we go. things you are. Boy, that can be taken a couple of different ways, can't it? When you're mad, all the things you are, and when you're glad, all the things you are. Don't get them mixed up or confused. Well, our next tune, actually, same year, 1939. And this came from a movie called Flying Down to Rio. A few different songs did actually come from that movie. And this one, they were hoping to start a brand new dance craze with this song. So the song was not only a song, it was also a dance. And the ironic thing is this, in the movie, was the first time that Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers had danced together. Well, in a movie, or what? I'm sure they danced, well, you know. And it was their debut, and they were hoping this was going to be the catalyst that was going to make this the new cha-cha. Well, cha-cha wasn't even here then, but you know what I mean. Guess what? Didn't do it, didn't make it. But it's a nice little tune, nice little Latin tune. And if you know how to do the dance, it's called the karaoke. Karaoke. Anybody out there? Nobody here was dancing either. I guess nobody really knows how to do The karaoke. Any dance teachers? No, none here in our audience. I don't know, maybe out in TV land. There's a dance teacher, try to say that fast, or two who might remember or know the karaoke. Well, we're getting down towards the end of our time, and our last tune's from 1945. Now, this tune generally was played as a slow tune. Then the jazz guys got a hold of it, and they went crazy with it. So I'm going to try to do maybe two different styles today. And it actually was a French song, so it came from France. That's where it was, yeah. And they translated it into English. Well, when they translated it into English, the title came out as Dead Trees. Now that just didn't really cut it. So the English version is called Autumn Leaves. So I think you may have heard this tune. We'll take it easy the first time through. Autumn Leaves. Pretty tune. I never cared for the tune that much. Then I saw people like Corey Pesatoro playing it like 300 beats a minute. I said, there we go. Okay, gotta try that. Couldn't do it. No, if I had to, I could probably do it pretty close to 300. Might sound like a whole bunch of rubbish, but what can I tell you? Well, that just about does our show for today. And Once again, thanks to Austin sitting behind the glass and me driving him crazy, trying to get the volumes and everything straight, but that's all right. And he's there every week trying to make me look good, which I realize is an inhuman task of its own. But he does a great job, and we're happy to have him here as part of Accordion Cool. And you know what I'm going to say next? I say it every show. Bring the young'uns in so they can hear Dead Tree. No, bring the young'uns in so they can hear this music. This music they are not getting the opportunity to hear these days. I won't go into a diatribe about the music that is coming over the airways right now, but these tunes, not because I'm playing them, but because they're great tunes, great music of the 20th century, and hopefully they will never go away. As long as I'm able to hold an accordion up, we're going to keep doing them. So once again, Coach Dave, thank you all for watching, listening, whatever it is you do with us here. And let's take it home with, I don't know, let's chop down a dead tree or something. Here we go.